here. All right, so appreciate Vice President of FFL Frontline, one of the best logos in the entire company, I feel. Mr. Rob Kakish. Rob, please take it away. Just if you could introduce yourself, tell them, where you came from, how you got started, and I'll just start firing you with the questions.
You got it, bro. You got it. Well, first of all, everybody, hello. Happy what's today? Thursday. Shout out to my brother, Mac, man, somebody who I've seen in the industry. I think we kind of got started pretty much around the same time. And I think we connected right away, man. So appreciate you having me on. You guys have an incredible leader here, a man of substance and definitely meticulous with a lot of stuff. I even called him a couple of days ago. I'm like, hey, man, what's up with that script, my man? I need to see your script. So appreciate you sending me that. But guys, my name is Rob Kakish, president of the Frontline organization. And how I got introduced to FFL was from one of my good friends, actually, for the last decade. His name's Bruce Williams. I was a finance director. I was doing that for, by the grace of God, actually, even though it was a lot of hell work. I got in when I was 22 years old. I went for a random interview and got it. And that was my finance career. It was a 6-figure gig, company car, the whole nine. But you're working in a corporate environment, hitting 60, 70 hours a week, no weekends off, nothing like that, right? So eventually I took a look in the mirror and I seen the relationships around me. Yes, people were making money, but freedom was limited. They can buy what they want, but they couldn't enjoy it. They're putting the time in, but the time for who? And I looked around and I said, if I'm putting this time in, I got to really figure something out. Where am I going to invest this time and energy and put it into? And then I didn't take a vacation for 3 years. So I took a leave of absence. I took my sick pay and I took my vacation pay. I traveled to Iceland and Australia to go find myself, right? I didn't find a damn thing. Okay, I came back. I'm like, what's the next step? And by the grace of God, I get a call from Bruce. Dude, I quit. I said, what? So I was a finance director. He's a general sales manager. So he's making a couple $100,000. I'm like, you quit? Quit what? He goes, I quit GSM. He goes, I'm in this insurance thing. I said, bro, I can't even believe the disrespect. You're telling me this insurance thing? Mind you, my history was I went to a couple seminars of who are practice companies, and they're telling me their comp and this and that. I was like, dude, I would never put myself in that position. I will never put myself in that position. Long story short, he goes, I just helped 30 families this month. I said, what? He goes, dude, we live 20 minutes from me. Come, let me show you my paycheck stubs. Let me show you my deposit. He showed me his deposits. He looked at me, he calls me kid. He goes, kid, this is for real. And I was like, wow. Got licensed in 2 weeks. The licensing was 5 hours from here because it was during COVID. So I drove to Central California, stayed in a motel out there, got it done, came back down, got licensed, and first month helped 25 families. Got 25 families deposited. And I was like, this is not normal. I know I worked hard, so that part was definitely there. Obviously, even if you're not talented, but if you put the time in, it'll work. But I was like, this is unreal. So exactly 24 months later, we're helping approximately 400 families a month. Me and you, we did 400 families that year. We went Hall of Fame, and now we're here, dude. So it's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate that story. I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, if that doesn't get you hot, your wood is wet. Okay, yeah. It doesn't burn you up. Your wood is wet. So let me just throw it at you. Here's the truth, guys. The opportunity is the same, but the only variable in this whole equation is you. So I know that the opportunity is equal. I love the fact we're in America, but here's the truth. We know we all don't start in the same finish line or the same starting line, better said. Rob, tell me this. You've been working in the car industry. What would you say to win? I mean, you did 25 families your first month. What did you say either prepared you? What kind of mentality do you think created that opportunity for you to even do that? Because let's be honest, there's some people who start, they don't do that. Yeah. What's the difference? Why did you do it? And why do you think others don't?
The difference is this. First of all, I looked at the people who were successful and I listened to what they told me to do. So you guys are going to hear me say a couple of the same things, but don't let it just go over your head. simplify what I'm saying and really understand that the magic is literally the same. There is nothing of this crazy thing that is about to arise. Like, oh, that can happen. So for me, he goes, hey man, you can spend $1,000 your first week. I said, yeah, spend $1,000, dial the phones like a maniac. And me dialing the phone with like a maniac, I was in the house, I was making a sandwich, I was just calling. I wasn't like sitting down. I was just doing my thing during the house, in the office. Actually, I got an office before we sold our first policy, me and Bruce.
Hey, take notes. Take notes.
Yep.
He decided to build a business because, again, sorry for interrupting, Rob. I want to help structure.
Go ahead.
Because you're going to get a lot of things, guys, and you can feel as if you're drinking out of a fire hydrant. Remember, Robert Kiyosaki said there are 4 different phases of your business life. First, you're employed, you're self-employed, you then run a small business, and then if you choose, you can run a big business. Some people choose to stay employed, a JOB, nothing wrong with that. But then when you become an FFL agent, you are now self-employed. But the question is, do you just stay self-employed or do you decide to build a business, small business?
Correct.
What's the difference? It's your structure. He got an office before he even sold his first policy. Mm-hmm. If you can just give us a little bit more of that. Why did you do that?
Sure. So let me give you the psyche behind that. So I got the office because I'm transitioning careers, right? I take life is serious, bro. You know, it can be beautiful, but life is serious. Like, you got to be covering your grounds. You know, you got to do your best to stay healthy. You got to do your best to live in hope and faith. You got to take care of yourself financially, right? And me coming from, you know, I've seen what my mother went through and how she assisted us, plus my sisters, and just being cognizant of life. You know, I'm understanding that nothing is going to be handed out, man. You know, you can get assistant. You guys can have Mac here who can breathe life into you, who can assist you with other leads, who can show you script. But at the end of the day, you really have to find out what you want your outcome to be, not what your goal is. There's goals. Everybody sets goals. What is the outcome in the next 90 days? See, because when you have an outcome, you can break down on how to get there. Because an outcome is just doing better than you did yesterday. And all of that compounds. So for the office, it was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this.
I love it. I love it.
And it was really that, and just committing to the time, the structure, and doing what literally was being told. Everybody has the same level playing field. Everybody starts right here.
Are you going to do it or not is what it comes down to. So if you're taking notes, begin with the end in mind. Now, I get it. Some people are starting from different circumstances. Listen, if you can't do a building, do it on a small scale, whatever. And this is what I was taught from my mentors. Whatever the bigger fish you're doing, do that on a small scale. Correct. If you can't go buy an office, set aside a portion of your house. Like, it's a mental shift. That is,
it's all figure outable.
Safe zone. That's
all figure outable.
It's all, guys, I want you to make sure that you can transition what he's saying to you. Because what I don't want to happen is, oh, Rob said get an office. Oh, I don't have 10 grand. I don't have 5 grand extra, so I can't do it. No, listen, transfer it into what you can do. Create your sacred space so you can start thinking like a business owner. So thank you, Rob. So you got an office, you got going. You were used to work, so you just started jamming the phones. You were not adverse to investing in yourself and buying leads, and you just simply put the work and you helped 25 families. Now, let me ask you this, the process, the training, what kind of training did you go through to prepare you to go help those families?
Okay, so this is a couple things that I'll tell you some videos that assisted me. And then from there, I pretty much just figured it out. Was the 8 steps to the in-home. Okay, the 8 steps to the in-home with Paul McLean.
Paul McLean.
That thing, because it was just so bullet pointed that it completely made sense. It completely made sense, right? Then from there, that was went over basic products. I think a lot of people over take too much time with the products. America term 125, term product ages 20 to whatever. You go up to $450,000, an additional 25% if anything accidental happens, and you got living benefits to it. That's your product knowledge.
Did you
anything
really
more
know,
than that? Huh?
Did you really know the products? I mean, did you feel?
No, I knew at the end of the day, you know what? There was another 25% because it's term 125, HMS 125. When you pass away, the money's there tax-free. Out of these three options, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we got this option, this option, this option. If we could get an approval, which one do you feel most comfortable with? Because we can always tweak and adjust later.
I love it.
The middle one, perfect. Can I get a driver license, please?
Boom. Some people have analysis paralysis, Rob. So how would you coach someone who they are holding themselves back because they don't know it all? They don't feel like an expert, and they're supposed to be the expert in that home.
Sure. Let me tell you three things. Let me tell you a few things. Okay. Nobody's ever going to fully be an expert. Okay. When you think you're an expert, that's when you rot, right? You need to continue to learn. Even every day, we do what we do, but there will be these little things like, oh, didn't know that one. Didn't know that one. And that's what keeps this game exciting, right? The ability to continue to learn, but while you're learning, doing. While learning, doing. While training, doing. While reading and assessing products, doing. Right? Because now that's double whammy momentum. You're learning, being coached, and doing something. Therefore, you're educating yourself and being fruitful for you and your ecology, which is the people around you.
Love it.
Right? So when you get into the in-home or you're taking your first step, you guys ought to understand, if you can get the basics down of the introduction, et cetera, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I just need a quick minute. I got to call my senior underwriter. Mac is going to give you on the phone, hey, what's the client's age? You tell him 62, cholesterol, diabetes, it's oral metformin, and had cancer 5 years ago. All right, go to Eagle Premier, give him 3 affordable options, immediate coverage, doubles if anything accidental happens, and he's got living benefits. Tommy, you got this, bro. You remember what we studied, right? You got this. Boom, done. But we're so overthinking. We're so in our heads. We're scared of stuff before it even happens. The mind can heal you, or the mind can make you sick. And you have to be conscious. You have to be conscious of that, guys. And that includes every day when you wake up, what's your work ethic? What's your schedule? What's your structure? From 8 to 12, what are you doing? From 12 to 3, what are you doing? From 4 to 8, what are you doing? And when you can take the time to really write that down, life, you start to get lucky.
Lucky. I love it. Rob, let me, and guys, as you have questions for Rob, throw it in the chat.
Sure.
And I'm burning up with what he's saying. If this is great, if you're liking what he's saying, throw it on a fire, a thumbs up on this. So Rob, 2 things. Tell us the rest of the story. You helped 25 your first month. What do the rest look like? And then I'm going to throw another question. We know that, I know we talk about all the good things that happen here, but here's the truth. We know this is hard, right? It was meant to be on purpose. What kind of things can a new agent expect so that they can be ready for this?
All right. So the first thing to expect is you got to be okay with it, because this is the magic. When you start to be okay with the clients telling you no, I didn't remember it. And I'm going to give you some stuff right here on when a client says that, what to do, because this is guaranteed. This is the only script I allow in the office. Okay, especially if we're touching age leads. But you got to understand that the no's are going to happen. I don't remember. I'm not interested anymore. I need a little bit more time. All of that is going to happen. It's going to happen. You got to be okay with it. But remember this, if you can stay consistent enough and you get enough yeses, the return on investment is so massive, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Okay, so that's the first thing. So be prepped for that, and also be prepped for a couple things. Obviously, you got to do your dials, but this is how you do your dials. Do you want me to get into that, or do you want me to
please jump in?
So this is how you do dials without burning out. And this, I went to a Tony Robbins and a Brandon Burchard seminar during, what was that, before or after COVID? Right before COVID. And this is what he said. It's called a strategic reset. So let's say you're supposed to dial in the morning and evening, right? Which you should. In the morning, you're going to have yourself 4 to 5, depending on your time, 4 to 5, 45-minute timings. So 5 45-minute sessions. So that means you absolutely lock in like a lion for 45 minutes nonstop. Then you take yourself a 5-10-minute break. You get a strategic reset there. At that point, make yourself some water. You're actually supposed to stretch a little bit so you can get blood flow going and get you back up and wired again. But whatever, make yourself a little sandwich, grab your Gatorade, your Powerade, make a phone call, this and that, hug the dog, do what you got to do, take a step outside. Then you come right back and you lock down for another 45 minutes nonstop. Go, take a breath, grab some water, use the restroom, stretch, come back. Then you do it again and again and again in the morning. So that'll take you from 8 to 12. From 12 to 3, personally, it's like, not me, I do it at night, but I have some of my guys who don't work at the office. During that time, they'll run some errands, they'll hit the gym, they'll do whatever they got to do from 12 to 3. What I would recommend is taking care of paperwork, recruiting, putting ads up, and showing people the opportunity. But people do that as well. Then around 3:34 until 8, because now this is prime time. You catch a few in the morning, then your main predominantly is from 4 to 8. Okay, if we're going to keep it honest, 5 to 8 is your main time. But from there, you do it the same thing again. 45 minutes break, 45 minutes break, 45 minutes break, 45 minutes break, 45 minutes break. And if done correctly with good intention, right? I'm assuming the close. See, when I get on the phone with my guys, it's like, they're like, how do you do that? But it's not magic. I'm not special. I just told myself, hey, it's going to work. God's got me. It's going to work. The formula's got me. It's going to work. So you'll notice after all that, you look down, you're like, okay, maybe it's not 16 appointments for the next 2 days, but you're like, I got like 10, 12 appointments. So every 2 45-minute sessions, I got 1 or 2 appointments. Oh, okay, I got it. And that's how you do it. So 45 minutes is your goal every time. 45 minutes of absolute focus.
I love it. I love it. Guys, you just got a nugget that people would pay thousands for. Yeah. They go to all these seminars to get that. And because you don't see the bright lights and there are all these famous people parading around,
correct.
Sometimes we take this nugget of gold for granted. So some of you, when you do a replay, you'll be in a different vantage point of your life when you hear what he just said and you're like, aha. Thank you for that, Rob.
You're welcome.
A little bit backstory. So one of the things I was most impressed with Rob was he's young. And not only did he do well, but he maximized and enjoyed. Now, some of you don't know. So Rob actually, he did something called the US World Tour. Okay. So Rob, tell us about that, how what that looked like for those that don't know about that.
Sure.
We can't see you, Rob.
Here we go. This was called the All-American Tour. Okay. So this was, okay. So in California, kind of Arizona too, last year, we didn't have a lot of leads. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's Stephen Yee. Sorry, 9 a.m. finishing call now. Sorry, guys. He called me like 3 times. It's not an emergency. It's not an emergency though. Okay.
He tripled down. So triple downing works, right?
Yeah. Arizona, Cali didn't have too many leads. We had leads, but you know, guys like me and Mac who were on it, we'd see 7 leads, we'd grab 8 leads, we'd grab it. And that's what we were going through. Like there was 5, 7, 12 leads, we'd grab it. We'd be on the CRM all day, grabbing leads. Obviously there's more of an abundance now, which is good. But I told myself, I'm like, okay, I'm helping 20, 25 families a month. But if I want to do more, I'll pay for more because it's already happening. But the telesales thing wasn't a thing now. So what did I do? I talked to a few people. They said, are you married? I said, no. Any kids? No. And mind you, this is not an excuse because Mac did it too. Mac did a lot of travel trips. So I got on a plane. My first spot was Chicago, Illinois. So I ended up traveling the country for 20 weeks, different cities, different states, and literally running business everywhere from Hawaii to Chicago, to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Kansas City, Utah, Colorado, New Jersey, Michigan, Philly. Actually, Philly's a good story. Me and my boy Derek, we wanted a Philly cheesesteak. So we said, let's go run a travel trip. And that's exactly what we did. Ran a travel trip, helped 8 families in 2.5 days, got our Philly cheesesteak and came back home. But the point being, guys, is you can really make this a lifestyle. But this is always the but. There has to be the structure and schedule. Without structure and schedule, you're going to walk around with a chicken with your head cut off, praying and hoping for the new policy. Structure and schedule breeds momentum, and momentum breeds, fruit. So that's very important. But yeah, it was a 20-week travel trip. By the time I got back, I had all these people that were watching. Ended up I came back VP Mac. That's how the story went, actually, because everybody was watching. So we got everybody licensed. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
And what I love about that is he said about structure. What was your schedule? Because I ran travel trips too, but I love his schedule. And tell us what your schedule was and how you enjoyed your time after you went to each city. How did you structure that into the deal?
Sure. So my structure was I usually went on the weekends, right? So I'd run Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would dial like a maniac Wednesday to set up Friday. Then I dial a maniac on Thursday to set up Saturday after 12 p.m. And then that Saturday before 12 p.m., that Saturday morning, I dial like a maniac to finish off Sunday, to clean up on Sunday, then hop on the plane and come back. So Wednesday, dial for Friday. Thursday, dial for Saturday after 12 p.m. And then that Saturday morning, I dial as much as I can just to get a couple more deals on Sunday. Because a couple more deals, you guys know what that equates to. That's your entire lead cost taken care of, right? So I did that. And then, of course, I made it a point to have a good time as well. You know, I made friends with a lot of cool people there, a lot of fine dining, you know, looking at amazing stuff like the Rocky Balboa things, the bridge, whatever. I forgot their names, but I made it a point to also make an experience out of it, right? See, because I worked hard, I was also able to play hard, right? I wasn't crazy drinking or anything like that. It's not that. But the point being is I took care of business in order to buy $100 steak.
100%.
I traveled across the country, didn't sleep, but so I can have that $100 steak and provide for the family. Because remember, it's not just about us. It's the impact that we have in the community. And that's what this vehicle of FFL can do for you when structured and committed and scheduled.
Properly. And guys, one of the things that Rob doesn't mention that maybe is an assumption that people like us, we assume, the mentality it takes to go all in. And that's one of the things he's telling you, all the how-tos right now. What he's not telling you is his mentality, what he did to set the table, right? For a person to buy a plane ticket on Wednesday or Monday, you're already what, $600 in the game, plus a hotel, 3 days, maybe $600 more, 7 maybe in the game. And then you're dialing, not even knowing. I mean, listen, when I dialed, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Rob, there is no way in God's green earth I'm paying this much money, leaving my family for 4 days, and I'm not going to make it back. There is no way.
Yeah.
That mentality, man, when I'm down, you best know that I'm going to be booking some families. My question to you is, you're dialing now, do you have that same urgency? Rob and I had that because I had 10 kids to feed, right? So
Amazing.
where are you and are you having something burning a bridge? And if not, that may be the problem, that you're too comfortable. So Rob, let me throw some questions at you people have in the chat. What kind of leads were you grinding the first 6 months in your FFL?
Straight CRM leads. Straight CRM life leads. At the time, we didn't even have the instant internet life leads. It was just new internet leads. So it was straight that.
So they weren't special leads, like
nothing.
No, they didn't have an ad that said Rob will call you.
Nope.
Like that.
Not a damn thing.
Okay.
Not a damn thing. But guys, remember, with that lead, I mean, with that calling structure, the ability to stay okay and feel good while dialing stays present.
Yes.
Because there's this goal that you just got to annihilate 45 minutes and then you can chill out for a sec. Annihilate 45 minutes and chill out for a sec. So your tonality, your energy, everything aligns.
Yep.
And even if it just increased your booking percentage by 8-9%, that's 8-9% every 45 minutes that compounds throughout the end of the day and the end of the week and the end of the month.
Right. I love it. Another question. How many leads did you buy to book up the whole weekend, knowing you're going to a different place the next week?
All right, cool. I said this at the Hall of Fame when we were speaking on stage in Arizona. New internet leads, minimum you need about 115. Okay, so you're gonna spend $9. You're gonna spend about $1,000. Okay, and book 10% on the new internet leads. Age leads, like the $3 and $4 ones, 1 month and 3 month olds, which we did have at that time, you need about 150 to 200. I'd go with 200 leads. Guys, remember, you sell 2 policies, you get all that money back. So for the age leads, 3 and 4 month olds, you get 200 of those. Because if we did the math, 200, if you can book, 10% of that, you're in the game, or 15% of that, you're in the game, right? Sell 10% of that. So obviously the newer leads, you need less, but the older leads, you're going to need more. You're going to need more. So yeah.
I love it. Someone's asking, did you fly in Wednesday or did you fly in Friday morning?
I would fly many times. I'd fly in Friday morning.
Got it.
Friday morning or Thursday. So I can get when I started doing a few travel trips, I made some extra money. I'd fly in on Thursday, so I was good and fresh for the morning.
Now we're talking about flying in, and let's go and transition. This is when we were doing all in home. Now,
yep.
COVID hit. I still knocked out in home, but then when did you transition to telesales, and also how did you use what you're telling us towards telesales as far as structure? Was it the number of leads?
So for me, it was, as in January, we were about 300 families a month. And then I felt more people needed time for me personally. So that's one of the reasons that I did step back. But is in-home still relevant? Absolutely. And let me hit on this real quick, actually, if you don't mind, Mac. In-home is still relevant because if you're having a bad week or a bad 2 weeks on the phones, you can literally tomorrow book yourself 4 or 5 appointments in the field, close 2 and come up a couple, 2, 3 families tomorrow.
Those are facts.
So the in-home is the backbone of the industry. It will never go away. My guy's, his name's Robert Canseco. He actually rented out this office. He's only here 3 days a week. His second month in, his first month, he did 16,000. This month, 16 families. This month he'll clear 22 families, all in home, because he tried the telesales and he was getting it. He was closing and helping families. But I was like, he goes, dude, I need a little more faster, man. I said, how many leads did you just buy? I said, call every single one. Instead of selling them on the phone, sell them on just the appointment, that you got to show information. Yeah, but I've been getting too many calls, ma'am. I completely understand. That's the reasoning for my call. Your case shows that it's unsatisfied. So it takes about 8 to 10 minutes to handle that. We have an opening in the morning and evening tomorrow. Which one do you prefer? Boom. So he was able to do that. And now he does 5 families a week, which is not that dramatic.
Not that deep. So if someone's sucking telesales, what's your recommendation?
You got to hit hybrid right away. And guys, it's okay if you're sucky first. At me, it was January, February. It's the least amount of business I've ever wrote, because I was trying to transition to the whole telesales thing, right? So if you're sucking right now, first of all, make sure you have some type of text message thread with your leads. Like you got to be on TurboText or Ringy, sending mass text message out and mass drips, because even if that gave you another 2 policies a week, 2 times 4, that's another 8 families a month. So don't just dial. You got to find a way to text them as first. It's double whammy, 2 ammunitions, right? So that's a big deal. And then if you're sucking right now, don't allow yourself to drown. Don't make the telesales thing an inconvenience. Get up, book the appointments, and go visit the family. At least sustain until you can sustain with telesales, but do not allow yourself to drown.
Don't drown.
Don't drown.
Yeah, telesales is I've always felt that telesales was the harder of the 2, if you will.
It is. It is. It's more convenient.
Yes. And convenience costs money, right? It costs money to have DoorDash come to your house versus you going there. Does it not?
Costs money.
Yeah. So another question someone's asking, do you think it's important for a new agent to run in-home first before they start telesales, or does it not matter?
It's a good question. Okay, so all right, so it depends on the situation if you're in. If you need quick money, like I always say this about Tom S. He one of my guys here, he needed quick money and he got on the phones for a few days. He goes, damn it. I was like, you know what, bro? You ask permission, right? As leaders, we ask permission. Do you feel comfortable going to people's home Well, yeah, whatever, okay, so this is what we're going to do. So instead, come to the office. Let's role play for 15, 20 minutes. I need you to book appointments to give the client the information. Don't sell them over the phone. What did he do? The next day, he's up 22 and a half families. You know, because Mac, what it is the next day, you do 2 families, you're up to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's that easy.
Different.
Even if a client says yes to $50 premium and the other client says yes to a $80 premium, do the math. You're still up a family and a half.
Yeah. Yep.
So it really does depend. It does depend, situation.
It is more convenient, guys, but you're right. In-home is in my opinion, the foundation. If a person has the option, I've always recommended go in-home because you learn certain wax on, wax off kind of skills that you can take anywhere. Telesales will always be there, right?
Yeah, inevitable.
Someone's asking, as far as the speech, actually, we're about to get into that. Let's get into the nitty-gritty on some of the how-tos.
Sure.
On first, how do you book? So let's hear what it sounds like. So you're calling me. People are going to ask. So ring, ring. I say hello.
So it'd be like this. Ring, ring. Tammy.
Hello? Yep.
Mac.
Yep.
How are you, Mac? This is Rob. I'm the agency owner here in San Bernardino County. Getting back to you, I understand my guys dropped the ball in regards to getting you that information. Are you still at 123 Main Street, sir?
Yeah. Who's this?
Whatever you feel, say whatever you're gonna feel. Whatever you feel about that call.
Yeah. Wait, who's this again?
This is Robert. So I'm actually the agency owner of San Bernardino County. You put a request not too long ago for the state regulated burial programs and life insurance. Obviously, your case is still open, and our guys did drop the ball. Did you have about 8 to 10 minutes to review this right now, or is this evening a better time?
Wait. So what are we reviewing?
This is the request that you sent regarding the state regulated life insurance or burial programs. I'm assuming that you've been getting too many calls or not enough calls. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of calls about that. I don't think I'm interested in that.
And so I completely understand. That is the reasoning for my call. We actually do have an additional incentive and we need to close out your file, sir, or you're going to continue getting these calls. Did you have about 8 to 10 minutes right now, sir, so we can go over this information and satisfy the account, or is this evening better?
Yeah, give me a call this evening.
This evening? Okay, sir. So I have a 4 and a 5:15. Which one do you prefer?
Let's do a 5.
5? Okay, sir. Is there any reason you wouldn't be able to answer that phone at 5 o'clock, sir?
No, I should be okay.
Okay. Perfect. I'm actually going to go ahead and send you a text message right now to your phone. You're going to have my national producer number where you can find me on local and state government websites. And I'm also going to have my business card as well, so you can put a picture to who's speaking on the phone, sir. Okay. Once again, sir, I'm just going to end off this call with, I understand you've been getting these calls and you're going to continue to get them until we satisfy this account. It's going to take 8 to 10 minutes. I'll be in and out of your hair just as fast as I contacted you. Fair?
Fair enough.
Perfect. Looking forward to it. Take care, sir.
All right. Bye-bye. Boom. And that's an age internet lead.
That's age lead. A lot of them here are age. I make them touch on ages. I'm not interested anymore. I completely understand, sir. That's the reasoning for my call. I'm assuming you've been getting too many calls or not enough calls at all. Regardless, you got him.
I already got it. What do they say? I'm gonna do a rapid fire objections. I already got it. I already took care of that.
Perfect. I understand, sir. And that's the reasoning for my call. We did come up with these new programs, so we just wanted to satisfy this account. We do have an opening in the morning and the evening tomorrow. I know you've been getting too many calls, but this would be able to satisfy that. Is that fair?
Well, I mean, if I already got the insurance, I think I'm good.
Okay, I completely understand, sir. Let's go ahead and take that off the list then. What carrier were you with? Which one of our carriers were you with?
I don't know. I got to get the email. I don't
okay.
know.
No, don't even worry about the email, sir. How about your premium cost? How much are you paying a month?
I think it's like probably $60 a month or something.
$60 a month. Okay, so you got on the $2 a day plan. Perfect. Your birthday is 1/16 of 67, correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, sir. Did you have about 35 seconds for me to go out and re-quote you and close out this account?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect, perfect. So, sir, I put your age right here. You're paying about $60 a month. So, with the additional incentive we have, sir, it's completely up to you. If not, we'll satisfy this account. I actually have a $49 premium, so that'll save you about $11 a month and a couple $100 a year. And all we would have to do is assist in switching over. That takes about 8 to 10 minutes. Did you have time for that?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Perfect, sir. Before we get started, we on a recorded line. My national producer number is 1-955-4355, where you can find me on local and state government websites, okay? I'm also going to send you my business card right now. Let me know when you get that, sir.
Done. I love it.
Done.
I love it. I'm not interested. I already got it. Someone drop in the chat. What I mean, you tell me, Rob, what is the third or biggest objection that
I'm gonna send you this to your email right now. You're gonna love this, and I want you share this with your people, bro. I made an e-app and a rebuttal form. So if you guys can study this and you can literally memorize these, you will never. And I'm gonna send this age lead script actually. Boom, 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 boom. E-app rebuttals here.
And while he does that, guys, here's what one of the things that was, I think, a benefit to us. Rob and I, we grew up in the stage when age leads was all we had.
Mm-hmm.
So when you know how to sell an age leads, you can sell anything. And the truth is, it's not about selling the lead. I'm simply trying to help the client. No matter what they got, we got better. That's the mentality. And I know it's the truth. Many times, Anna would book age mortgage leads. I would go there, and 9 out of 10 times, I was not looking to replace. I was just looking to improve. I was able to find something better for the client almost every time. So you can almost bet that you have something better than they do, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it usually does happen like that. I just said that to you.
Thank you. I'll share that. All right, guys, throw me some more questions if you have any.
Yep, let's go.
There's another one here. Someone said, hey, tough times happen. So what have you used to keep yourself mentally tough in the business? And before you answer that one, how about this? What are some of the biggest challenges, growing pains that you've had in the business? And what have you done to stay mentally tough?
When a week doesn't go your way, when you overspend on stuff that is not in the business, when you underestimate or overestimate your work, right? You need to stay consistent. And when weeks aren't good, you know, that can get to you, but that's why it's so important to have a good foundation and to stay in touch with people. You know what I'm saying? Because people like Mac, he can get you back on track. He can mentally align you and getting you back on track. You know, what else? The dialing thing we ended up taking care of. That 45-minute strategic reset really helps. I think the big thing is just consistency, man. Like, you really got to stay consistent, but there's a why on how you stay mentally tough, you know? So it's consistent, staying consistent.
You know, there's I guess a redheaded stepchild people don't really talk about in the business, and that's, you know, chargebacks, right? Mm-hmm. Just kind of share with this, is that
sure.
Your experience in it, how that can knock you out the game, and how do you stay mentally with that?
It can. So the first thing is, I don't hit these premiums too high, guys. Like, I really, like, when I said $2 a day, $3 a day plans, like, I teach that to my guys. $2 a day, $3 a day plans. Like, if they're iffy, and we have a $2 to $3 a day plan, I'll take $60, $70, $80 premium all day, right? Mortgage, you'll get a little more, but absolutely, man. Well, you do qualify for the $2 a day plan, right? So instead of saying 80, 90, 60 bucks, you're breaking this down for them. So consciously and subconsciously, they're thinking about $2 a day can protect their family. Right? So communication and verbiage is going to be very important. The chargeback situation. When you guys are done with your client, you can't just be like, all right, guys, take care. If you need anything, call me. This has to be a thing. This is what I always tell myself. I have it written right here. This is not business. It's a relationship. It's not a transaction. It's a relationship. And that's how you have to make your clients feel. That's how you have to make your clients feel. Mr. and Miss Smith, if anybody else calls you besides me, don't get out any information. You don't want them to run your MIB, your Medical Information Bureau. It's kind of like running your credit, but for your health. If there is any questions and comments and concerns, ma'am, this is my direct number. Do you have a pen and pad? Perfect. Put that somewhere safe where you'll never forget. Also, I'm going to send you a text message, ma'am. Anything you need, I am your point of contact. Ma'am, Tammy, who is the referral, you gave me her number. Is it okay that I give her a call and introduce myself? AKA, that's also a referral. Okay. Is it okay I go ahead and introduce myself? Yeah, you know what? Just don't tell her how much money or blah, blah. No problem, man. I just want to introduce myself, give her my point of contact. So God forbid anything does happen, she knows who to contact, man. Mrs. Smith, is there any questions that I have to clear up? Perfect. So the policy will be in the mail in about 7 to 10 business days, and the premium is going to come out in 4 days like you requested. Okay, ma'am? Ma'am, God bless you. Take care. Anything you need, you give me a call. All right, bye-bye. So you got to continue to tighten and make her feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big relationship thing is, and I almost don't want to say this, Mac, but this is for our agency because it is real. People who are on Social Security and stuff, you might have to ask them when is a good time for that premium to come out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that dropped like 20-30%. It helped, dude. Yeah. So find out when these older folks are getting paid, because when you do and you put it on that exact day, stuff changes.
Changes.
It changes. But tell them, do you need a specific day or does it not matter?
Yep. And
they'll keep it real with you, because the business that stays is the business that's real.
Rob, I appreciate you, man. One last question, and
no, go ahead. I kept a full hour for you.
For those who are brand new, if we were all your agents and you had us in this locker room, what would be your talk to us? It's our first day to get in the field. Would you tell us what to do today? What would be your expectations for us this week? What would that sound like?
So the first thing is I'm going to ask you how, and you guys have to ask yourself this: how much time a week can you put into this game? How much time a week can you put in this game? Right? If it's 10 hours, let it be 10 hours. If it's 15 hours, let it be 15 hours. If it's full time, well, Mac will show you what full time is. So that's the first thing. You got to find out how much time you're going to put into this. Now, the next step is, what is a financial goal that would make you happy? See, before we get to the encouragement and the motivation and what you got to do, we need to do self-reflection, right? So the first thing is, what is the amount of time you're willing to put into this game? And be honest with yourself, because at least we can construct around that to where you can have some type of fruit. So you can get some type of piece of the pie. So the first thing is time. The next thing is how many what's a financial goal for you? If another $5K a month is going to change your life, Matt can show you that. If it's another $10K a month, Matt can show you that. If it's another $20K a month, Matt can show you that. If it's another 30, 40, 50 families a month, he can show you that. So those are questions that dialogue has to happen when you're coming in, so we can make an actual plan to that. So it's the time. What is a financial goal that makes sense for you? And then how are we going to schedule and structure that? And then you as an agent, because it's a two-way street.
Yep.
You know, with management and agents coming in, it's a two-way street. Okay, we're going to do all this. We're going to assist you with the training, all that stuff. We're going to have live calls for you, all this stuff. And we're going to put a schedule and structure to you. Are you going to complete that schedule and structure? Are you going to commit to that? And if you say yes and then you don't, now we're BSing and you're wasting your time. So I think getting a big head start like that, and this is a new thing that we've been doing the last 5-6 months, because it weeds out the cancers, but it also, the people who aren't cancers, but who aren't going to go crazy, that just want to do 5-6 families a month, it gives them realistic expectations. And this is a conversation we had already, Mac.
Yeah.
Don't get surprised when I say something. We've had this conversation already. So when you can set the frame like that in the beginning to yourself, I'm talking to everybody on the call, my people, everybody. When you can tell yourself this, it puts things into perspective like, okay, this is real. It works. but I'm only putting 13 hours a week into this.
Right.
So another 5-6 families a month, maybe. Okay, that makes sense. So that there's no surprises. Then understand, find a why. Find a why. You know, what is your why? For me, it's for my future family and for my parents, right? I can't wait to retire my mom. And whoever has me on social media, you know, I was able to take care of my parents' mortgage for 6 months, bought her a car, signed off for take care of my sister's nursing school, bought her a car for being an All-American, etc. The impact that you have. So take this as a vehicle, guys. Even if FFL is not about to be your life, I'll end with this. Even if FFL isn't going to be your life forever, use this as a vehicle. There's going to be a crazy market crash in the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 months ahead. It's going to be 08, 09 on steroids. They're going to want 0.5% down, 1% down to buy a home that just dropped $300,000-$400,000 in equity. Are you in a position where you can buy 1, 2, 3 homes, sit on that for 7, 8, 9 months, let it assist in $150,000-$200,000 in equity, and boom, come up after?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Use this as a vehicle of where you need to get to, because we know the end all be all for everybody's not FFL.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But while you're in it, do what it do. You know, do what you got to do.
Rob,
and that's real life.
Hey, appreciate you and everything you do, guys. Rob, thank you for preaching and just pouring into us as if we were on your team. And that's what I love about FFL. All ships rise with the tide. Guys,
absolutely.
Caliber people like Rob going to be here every week. Tune back in with us next Thursday, 1 or 2 p.m. Pacific. Till then, guys, we'll see you on the top. Take care, take charge. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody. Love you, Mac. Take care, bro.
Love you too, man. See you, bro.